So, all rolling good here in the Crawford Podcasting Network with my good friend, longtime podcast partner, the High Wire Act out of Riviera Beach, Florida, number 40, Richard Rellford. How you doing, Rich?
I'm good, my man. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great. It's Friday morning, or actually Friday early afternoon, as we're taping this, and looking up forward. We're 7 of us heading down to Indy for the Final Four, and I'm going to be a kid in a candy store covering the Michigan Wolverines. This is the 4th straight weekend for me, from the
That's a
Big
good
Ten
thing.
tournament to the first 2 weekends, first, second round, and then the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, and then now I'm pleasingly exhausted, but I'm going to have some fun. Win or lose, it's going to be an amazing experience. I like the chances of the Wolverines, and so I want to jump right into the content, Richard, about this team. I want you to answer this question. What attribute of this team makes you most confident Michigan can defeat Arizona tomorrow?
The togetherness.
Great answer.
Yep. And I say that because if you listen to any interview, I saw some on my Michigan page with Axel and some of the guys, and nobody takes credit for anything. They're always giving it to the next guy. And that's the difference in the team. That's what makes your team great, that everybody cares about everybody else. And that's one of my things. Listen, you got all my friends down in Florida. They root for the Wolverines.
Wow. I'm loving that. I mean, and to that point, I think that's highly unusual. And I've mentioned this to people countless times. As a credentialed media obviously a long-time fan, alumnus and all that, but I've been credentialed media now for 24 years, covering Michigan basketball, Michigan football, a lot of really great teams, a lot of incredible student athletes from University of Michigan. No team that I've covered, even that 2023 national championship football team, I've never seen the camaraderie that you've just referred to. I mean, now basketball is a smaller unit, obviously, than football, and so it's easier to get fragmented in football.
Right.
But I said before, these guys, they don't want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about their teammate. They want to, yank each other's chain. And they have one guy who stirs it, who's a straw that stirs just the relaxed mode of this team, and that's Yaxel Lindenborg.
Yes.
And he and especially like with Trey McKinney. I mean, I've seen maturation from Trey. That first media day we had, and you could hardly hear him talk. I mean, he was
young freshman.
He's a freshman. Now he was just on national TV on the press conference from Lucas Oil. So articulate, so confident, authoritative in his thought process and his convictions. It's amazing. I give it to Yax. Did you have a guy like that on your team? Might have been you, because you had a freshman, Gary Grant.
Yes.
I mean, and Trey is a freshman.
Yes.
I mean, who played that role with you guys, or was it a?
It was a collective thing. Me, Roy, and Butch. We all, Frieder made sure that we looked out for Gary.
Is that right?
Yes, because he always said, Gary's young. He's coming from Ohio, and he's kind of didn't have a lot of guys that he hung out with. And so when he got to us, you could tell he was a freshman. That's what he was. And everywhere we went, the funny thing about Gary Grant was he used to say this to us: "Hey, tell him who I am." We used to laugh. I used to say, Gary, when the season starts, trust me, they'll know who you are.
Well, I mean, I remember because I there wasn't as much notoriety on talent and who you got coming in next year, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Okay? So I was a sports writer down in Texas. This would have been in the let's see, this after you guys had won the NIT.
Okay.
This would have been in May or whatever it was, or April or whatever it was, May around then, April of 1984. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And so in the Houston Chronicle, there was a flash news article in college sports, and it was Gary Grant is signed with Michigan. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and so and he was a McDonald's All-American.
He's a McDonald's All-American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like when you're bringing in somebody like that? I mean, do you feel like it's like, okay, this guy's going to come in here cocky and everything. We're going to have to keep him level. What's your biggest?
Well, to be honest, we never really worried about when the guys came in if they were going to be cocky because we had already won a championship. Right. And so nobody, you're coming in now to help because we have 5 stars. We don't have 1 star. We have 5.
And the expectations were really high.
And the expectations
you knew you were going back to the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
That was automatic. You almost made it in 84 by
right. One game. And it's funny because the one game
Northwestern, right?
Right. Well, St. John's took our spot in the tournament that year.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I called my brother. They took our spot.
Okay.
But we ran through the NIT after that because everybody was upset that we didn't make the tournament. But being in the tournament was great. I wish we could have got to the point these guys are now because I'm going to tell you, at this level, there's no nerves. All you're thinking about now is your next game, the next game. Because with Arizona, for all of us who say Arizona's going to be a tough team and this is going to be the championship to the, for the NCAA Final Four, well, that's not how they're thinking. They're thinking one at a time.
Yeah.
Because you can't think ahead. You think ahead is when the disappointment comes. Back when I played, I think we did that quite a bit. We already, as soon as we stepped on the floor, we had already felt like we won.
Yeah. That was a great team, especially, you were the hunter your junior year.
Yes,
you were the hunted your senior year. And that's why I think the junior year, you were more effective.
Yes.
Because you were, you caught teams off guard.
And we were unexpected. And so, like I said, I remember going to Minnesota and they had 3 7-footers. Well, 2 7-footers and 1 6'9".
Randy Brewer was?
Yeah, Randy Brewer. They had Brewer, they had Shasky, and they had Peterson. And,
Jim Peterson. Yeah.
And that was one of our first wins on the road and in the Big Ten. And Roy played great. Roy went crazy. And from that point on, we knew we were better than a lot of other teams because our athletes were better.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Okay, we've talked about the togetherness. Now, back to this Michigan team, I want to you to answer this question. What is the thing that would worry you most about this game tomorrow night at 8:49 tip at Lucas Oil? What's the biggest worry about this team?
Point guard play.
Okay, so you're putting on Elliot Cadeau.
Because, I think Elliot's an amazing point guard, but he's still only 6'1".
Yeah.
Where Arizona's point guard is 6'5". So he's a big kid. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And so I want to find a way because, that's what I say about him and Trey. Him and Trey going to have to be the double-head swords at the point guard position because he may be bigger, but I think we shoot better.
Oh yeah, and they shoot threes.
Right.
Arizona, they I think they made 5 threes their last time, but they don't shoot a lot of threes. And so if you do the numbers, Michigan's going to be better. And then Amari Burnett's part of that equation too at the guard position.
That's exactly right.
You're looking at the guard position because you think up front, even though Arizona is tremendous up front.
Well, I feel like we're tremendous up front as well.
Michigan can handle the up front.
Right. I'm not worried about the up front guys. It's my point because talking to all my friends that played, anybody who knows anything about basketball in the tournament, point guard play is the key.
And he's got to stay out of foul trouble.
And he got to stay out of foul trouble because you're running everything. You got to make sure it works. And at that point guard position, listen, I love Elliot as a point guard. I wish he was bigger, but I think that between him and Trey, we're good because both of them can shoot and both of them can defend. It's just the size that I worry about.
And then Yaks can remember in this positionless team of them. 5 what? I mean, Yaks can handle the rock. When you look at Michigan in their half court sets, just pick any game they've played all year. Once the ball makes it down to the half court, not saying a fast break or a secondary break situation, but just a dribble down the regular half court set. Once that first passes, you can't tell who's the point guard and who's not.
That's right. That's exactly right.
There's a lot, high ball screens and movement and separation, and the ball distribution is unprecedented with that Bati exercise that I saw down. I mean, where they're playing, they don't shoot. Did you ever do that where you rotate the ball where you didn't even shoot the ball in a drill?
We would do it for 15, 20 minutes and not shoot.
Yeah. And
you just pass it around until you. And I think that was to create patience.
I could see that.
That's to create patience because listen, we had a practice. Oh my goodness, we must have did like a half an hour of just drills and no ball touching. And we used to hate that when Frieda did that. But then he only did that when he was upset with everybody. Even though we done won 12 in a row.
Oh man, this is going to be so much fun tomorrow. So, what kind of interaction have you had about this team with your former teammates and teammates from bordering eras? I mean, we have Sean Higgins was on the back end of the year, and then and Tim McCormick more on the front. I mean, what have you reached? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, you guys are on text threads and things like that. What's the biggest takeaway from all the correspondence you're
from having? all my Michigan buddies and not my teammates? We're all really super proud, and we're excited because the team is playing so well. I said this to you before. Everybody loves a winner, and Michigan is known for winning. That's why people hate us, because we win. And for all the players, if you call any one of them, they're all going to tell you, ask them, are you guys watching the tournament? And they're going to be like, are you crazy? Of course we are, because we're really proud and I'm really happy. But I told someone, you know what makes it even better? That your coach lets his players play. In May, he let those guys play. I saw when Merez came out the game the other day, he had missed a few shots, and May saw him coming off the floor and said, be ready. Be ready. And that means you good. Don't worry about the turnovers. Don't worry about the missed shots, because they'll come. But like I said, my guy is Axel, because Axel, when he plays the point, everything changes. Yeah. Because they have to adjust. Because usually Axel has a small forward guarding him. And if you put or a power forward, if you put that guy on Axel at the point, he had a problem, because he's going to get flown by every time. Axel will drive right by him. Yeah. And so they have to adjust. So I think we're looking good. And my teammates, man, we all happy. Believe me.
I know you talked to your really close friend and fellow Riviera Beach Wolverine, Anthony Carter, just right before the podcast. Tell us what AC has.
Well, Ace is excited because I asked him the craziest question. I said, yo, man, you been watching the team? You know I've been watching the team. Of course he's been watching the team. And I love the idea that not only do our basketball guys watch, but all our football guys as well. Nobody can't tell me that Harbaugh and all these guys around the country that played at Michigan ain't watching that game. Everybody's watching. And that's what makes it exciting for us. That's why I love the school so much. I told somebody today, I'm a Wolverine till I die.
Yeah. It's funny. I asked the Axel in the presser about it was basically talking about the appreciation of the crowd at United Center, which was crazy. The amount of fans that Michigan had against Tennessee, and he said, Michigan fans, need to know that we die on the floor for you guys. You know what I mean? I mean, in terms of effort, I'm actually figuratively speaking, but I think the Michigan crowd, Illinois will have a huge crowd. And Champagne's just 2 hours away. Right. That's another game, and we're not getting ahead of ourselves. But what do you think will happen in that other game before the Michigan-Arizona game when Illinois takes on UConn?
Well, honestly, I think that Illinois is going to beat UConn.
I do too.
And the funny thing about this whole thing, Tom, is we have a chance to have a Big Ten final.
Yeah.
And we play, Michigan playing Illinois. Come on, man. I got a lot of friends that played at Illinois. And so one of my friends, I keep meeting him on Facebook, friends, is Bruce Douglas. Bruce was the starter.
There's a name from the past.
Yeah. Bruce was my.
How old you are, man? Wow.
Exactly. I'll let you know how far I go back. Well, Bruce was one of my McDonald's All-Americans teammates.
Really?
Yeah. Bruce played on my McDonald's All-American. Plus, they had another guy. He's passed away. His name was Ephraim Winters.
Oh, I remember him too.
Remember Ephraim?
Yeah. Oh,
well,
yeah.
Listen, the last time we played Ephraim, and he played against Roy, he had a perfect game. 14 points. 14. He was 14 for 14 from the floor. He had 25 points because he was 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Didn't miss a free throw. And I think they beat us that game. I think they might have. They might not though, because we only lost 2 games that year. So I don't know if they beat us or not. But Ephraim played great. But he's passed on since then, and kind of broke my heart, man, that he passed.
Yeah, Bruce Douglas was just a grinder kind of guard, a multi-purpose leader of that team.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
My God. Illinois has some great history. And we talked about when we had Sean Higgins on here about the Illinois game and the putback in the semifinals. But, man, I tell you what, I don't want to play Illinois. I'd rather play UConn. I think Big Ten could be. Either Michigan, Illinois can beat UConn. I don't want to play. I mean, obviously, you got no. None of us have control over any of this, but other than the players, and the coaches. But I'm just saying, my preference of outcome would be Michigan, UConn. Illinois is good. They're physical, and you know what the difference is? As great as they are offensively, now they've ramped up their defensive side of the ball, and now they're scary productive.
They really are, and see with Illinois, they got big guards too.
Yeah,
and so they're already talking about their guard getting a lottery pick.
Yeah, well, Keaton Wagler is
right.
You talk about Gary Grant having composure as a freshman. This guy looks like he's unflappable.
Like he's been in college for 4 years already.
He's just he had 46 points when they went to Mackey and beat Purdue.
46.
Can you imagine?
As a freshman,
how hard it is to win at Mackey Arena. All too well.
Well, Illinois has always had some good guards. One of my good friends from my high school, my rival high school, which was North Shore, was Derek Harper.
Oh, Derek Harper in Michigan came very close.
Yes.
A smidgen from landing him.
Yes, we know. Trust me. We know from all my
handlers. Was he younger than
No,
you?
he's older. He's 3 years older. 2 years.
That's right.
2 years
like
older.
80, 81.
Right. That's exactly right. And so
damn, that dude could fire the ball, man.
Listen, but he wanted the great defensive players as a guard because he was 6'4". And I always tell people he was 6'4", playing point at his high school, and he took his high school to the state championship and won with just him being at 6'4" at the point guard. He was the second tallest guy on his team. And so it was amazing.
What high school was he?
North Shore High School.
North Shore. I remember I was bummed when Michigan, because, it was like all the crystal ball things, whatever it was at that time. It was like Michigan got to get Derek Harper.
It would have been great because I went there. I came there anyway because of Eric Turner. But I would have definitely came if Derek Harper was the point guard, because I played with Derek when I played AAU. He was a senior and I was a sophomore, and I started on an AAU team full of seniors. And Derek he used to always say to me, "Listen, don't worry about how old you are. Go out and do what you do." And I started, and we lost in the championship to Riverside Church in New York.
Wow.
But we made it to the championship. And like I said, I was a sophomore. And it was great. I had a great time. We traveled. And that's when I started realizing how important AAU is.
Well, see, that's what it takes to get to be a McDonald's All-American, as it does. To have those high competitive environments and experiences. That's not normal stuff.
It's hard work. I tell, when kids ask me now, it's called hard work. I should not come to you and say, "Do you want to go shoot?" I should be the player should be the one going to the coach saying, "Can I get some shots up?"
Yeah.
Because that's what I tell you.
after I want to mention this last thing, and then we'll let you go. And we're going to be connecting this weekend. But when after the win over Tennessee in the Elite Eight, okay, so we went out on the floor. We had media access on the floor, and you know that the confetti. I mean, not
looks great,
confetti and all that stuff. Your Final Four. You go in the Final Four, okay,
right?
And so I'm out there with everybody. We're all out there, and the families are hugging their kids. And you see this not just Yaxel's mom or Will Cheddar's parents and things, but in all these cases, my takeaway was this, Rich. I mean, because there were tears and all this stuff, because the parents know how much freaking work went into this shit that most people don't realize. And to me, I could see the admiration their parents had their kids because you did a lot to get where you got.
Yes.
And Elliot's parents, though everybody, I mean, it was the same look, everybody of just sheer joy and appreciation for what their kid through, because they know this doesn't come easy, and you know that as well as anybody.
Listen, Axel needs to thank his mother every day of the week for the rest of his life, because she got him off that couch playing that video game.
That's a perfect example. I was literally off the couch,
right, and to get your behind into a gym and on somebody's team, and look, you're getting ready to be a lottery pick because your mama. You better get your mama everything she asked you to get her when you get into that next level.
I think he did at winter break. I think he got her a really nice car or something like that. Yeah.
Good. You know what? Listen, he making enough NIL money. He can do that. That's not a problem. Now your next move is with your NBA contract, get a house.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know, Rich, you're going to be watching from Sylvania with family and close Michigan friends, and we're going to connect this weekend. We'll let people know when we do the next podcast, and man, hopefully we'll have a couple of post national championship podcast of the 2026 Michigan Wolverines. Would that not be fun, man?
I can't wait, Tom. I am too excited. I always laugh because sometimes, I get too excited. I'll wake up. Yesterday I woke up saying, man, I thought I was at a game today. You know what I mean? And because I think about the guys and I think about how much fun it has to be for them.
Yeah.
To get this point, because you know what? You have created a memory for a lifetime.
Oh my God. That means there's only 4 teams. And of those 4 teams, only one's going to go home happy.
Right. Only one's going to be happy.
I'm having a happy ending.
And I want people to understand, too, that because players make it to the Final Four, if they don't win, they're not happy. You're happy to get there, but you want to win. And it's only one team can win.
Yep. So, well, we'll see what happens on that. Hail, and Rich will talk to you soon. And go Blue.
Go Blue, baby. All right, my fella.